Today I'm here at Simply Cats Adoption Center. We're going to go inside and meet some cute kitties because it turns out cats are a great example of genetics. Physical characteristics are coded by genes. These genes are written in DNA and stored in chromosomes. Different versions of the genes are called alleles. Usually an animal will have pairs of chromosomes which may have different alleles. One allele is dominant and one is recessive. A dominant allele will always be expressed if it is present, and a recessive allele will be silenced by the dominant one. In cats, there is a gene that controls the intensity of color in their fur. The dominant gene codes for rich colors, so that's how most cats look. However, a cat with 2 copies of the recessive gene will have muted or dilute fur. Not everything is this simple though. Different genes follow different expression patterns, meaning how and when they are read. An example of this is an X-linked gene. One pair of chromosomes determines the sex of certain animals. In mammals such as humans and cats, an individual with 2 X's will be female, and with an XY will be male. X is large, with many genes affecting a wide variety of traits. In cats, one of these traits happens to be the color of their fur. There are 2 different alleles, orange or black. Male cats will be whichever of the colors they have the allele for. But what about females with 2 different X chromosomes? The extra X chromosome is silenced in a process called X chromosome inactivation. This happens long before the cat is born, when it is just a tiny ball of cells. Each cell picks one of their X chromosomes at random and wraps it up super tight with protein so it can never be used again. These cells pass on their decision to all the cells that come after them. As they spread out, you end up with a patch of cells that went one way and a patch that went the other. The pattern of white on cats is an example of a different expression pattern, called variable expression. There are 2 white alleles, either on or off. A cat with 2 offs will have no white, one on will have some white, and both on will have mostly, if not all, white fur. In addition, cats can be albinos. They are also pure white, or mostly white, and can have blue or pink eyes. This is a good example of why you can't always trust the physical traits to tell you exactly what genes an animal has. Not all traits are controlled by a single gene either. For instance, all cats have a gene for a tabby pattern on their fur, either dominant mackerel or recessive tick or blotch patterns. This gene activates another gene, which lightens the hair in the designated pattern. Solid-colored cats are mutants, with a broken copy of the second gene. The recessive mutant gene ignores the pattern gene, so that all the fur is dark. As you can see from these cats, a trait is rarely controlled by a single gene. A cat's fur color alone is controlled by 7 different genes that we know about with a variety of expression patterns. This is important because all of these expression patterns work the same for other traits that are more important than fur color. Understanding these different ways genes work together can help us to understand how certain genetic diseases happen and how it might be possible to use new technology to cure them in the future.